Now that we know about the quotient rule, we can differentiate some trig functions that we couldn't before. For instance, tan of x is just sine x over cos x. That is a fraction or a quotient. So let's jump straight in and try to differentiate all four trig functions that we hadn't previously been able to. Let's begin with the derivative of tan. So if I have y equals tan x and I want to find dy by dx, I can express tan x as sine x divided by cos x. And I know the derivative of sine and cos, which means I can use the quotient rule for this. So the top of the fraction, the numerator is u, and that's sine x, and the denominator v is cos x. And so u dash is cos x, that's the derivative of sine, and v dash, the derivative of cos, is minus sine x. Okay, now we can apply the quotient rule and we can say that dy by dx is v u dash, so that's cos x times cos x, which is cos squared x, minus u v dash, so minus sine x times negative sine x, so that's minus sine squared x, minus sine squared x is plus sine squared x, all over v squared, and v is cos x, so that is cos squared x. All right, well, you know what the numerator is. Cos squared x plus sine squared x is 1, and divide that by cos squared x, but we know what another name for 1 over cos is, it's sec, so that is sec squared x. So there it is, the derivative of tan x is sec squared x. Now, in future, unless you're asked to prove that the derivative of tan is sec squared x, we can just use this result. And ultimately, this is one of the many derivatives that it's useful to just know. All right, so tan is done. Let's now look at our next one, sec. So we'll do that here. So if y equals sec x, can we figure out what the derivative is? Well, there's actually two ways we can do this, because sec x is, well, it's 1 over cos x. Now, we could use the quotient rule here. It would actually be a bit of a weird one to use the quotient rule for, only because the numerator is 1 and the derivative of that is 0. Quite a nice way to think about this is as y equals cos x to the power of minus 1. And what we can actually do is use the chain rule, because I've got stuff to the power of n. And when we've got some stuff to the power of n, our derivative is found by simply multiplying the power to the front. Power drops by 1, 2 minus 2, then multiplied by the derivative of the stuff, which is minus sine x. Let's neaten this up then. Well, the minus and the minus cancel, and I've got sine x times cos x to the minus 2, which is sine x divided by cos x, cos squared x. Now, the way that we'd normally write this is 1 over cos x multiplied by sine x over cos x. And the reason why we write it like that is then we can say it as 1 over cos x is sec x, and sine x over cos x is tan x. So there's another one of our new derivatives. The derivative of sec x is sec x tan x. All right, so it's tricky to remember, isn't it? The derivative of tan x is sec squared x. The derivative of sec x is sec x tan x. We're now going to look at cosec and cot. I really would recommend that you actually pause the video and try to derive the derivatives of cosec and cot yourself. They're very similar to the derivations I've done here for tan and sec. Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at doing that now. So if y is cosec x, it's easiest to think about this as 1 over sine x. And we can then think of that as being sine x to the power of minus 1. Notice I'd never write that as sine to the minus 1 of x, because that's unfortunately the symbol that we use to represent the inverse of sine, arc sine. We're not talking about this. When I say sine x to the minus 1, I mean 1 divided by sine x. They're not the same. Okay, now I can differentiate. And so power will come to the front and drop by 1 down to -2, and then I multiply by the derivative of what's happening inside the bracket, which is cos x. So what do we get? Well, no negatives cancelling here. It is going to be a negative. Now what I've got is cos x. I'll put minus cos x, and then it's divided by sine squared x, sine x to the -2. So divide by sine squared x. And just like there's a convention for how we write the derivative of sec, there's a convention for how we write the derivative of cosec. We'll write minus 1 over sine x multiplied by cos x over sine x. And that is minus cosec x cot x. And there is our derivative of cosec x. Okay, last one is the derivative of cot x. So if y equals cot x, well, remember what cot x is. It's cos x over sine x. Much easier to think about it that way than 1 over tan x. We could do this as 1 over tan x, but it's quite a lot messier than doing it like this. Okay, I can now use the quotient rule. My u is cos x, which means that u dash is minus sine x. My v, the denominator, is sine x, which means my v dash is cos x. So what's our derivative here? Well, dy by dx is v u dash, that's sine x times negative sine x, so minus sine squared x, minus u v dash, which is cos x times cos x, so that's minus cos squared x, all over v squared, so all over sine squared x. Okay, how can we tidy this up? Well, that numerator, if I factorise out a -1, is sine squared x plus cos squared x, which is going to be 1. So what I in fact have is -1 over sine squared x, which is minus cosec squared x. So there is our derivative of cot x. It's minus cosec squared x. Okay, let's summarize those 4 derivatives that we've now just established. Okay, so I'll just lay out a little table here of here's the function and here is its derivative. So the 2 trig functions that we started with, which we know, is if f of x is sine x, its derivative is cos x. If the function is cos x, its derivative is minus sine x. Then we've got tan x, and its derivative, we've just proved, is sec squared x. And then we also saw the derivative of sec x was sec x tan x. Next there was cosec x, and its derivative was minus, make that clear, minus cosec x cot x. And then finally we had cot x, whose derivative is minus cosec squared x. So laying it out like this, it's clear that sine and cos really do sort of come as a pair, like their derivatives are related to each other and they're linked by the Pythagorean equation sine squared x plus cos squared x equals 1. Sec and tan really do come as a pair as well. Their derivatives are linked, aren't they? The derivative of tan x is sec squared x, derivative of sec x is sec x tan x, and they're linked by that Pythagorean equation tan squared x plus 1 equals sec squared x. Then cosec and cot, they come as a pair as well. Their derivatives are linked. Derivative of cosec x is minus cosec x cot x. Derivative of cot x is minus cosec squared x. And they're linked by the Pythagorean equation 1 plus cot squared x is cosec squared x. So it's really helpful to think of cos and sine, tan and sec, and cosec and cot as being sort of 3 little pairs to work with. Right, you'll definitely need to ultimately memorize these because you'll be using them so much that they should just be learned so that they're just there at the tip of your fingers. All right, that's all for now. In the next video, we'll look at how to use these new derivatives.